Guys, and welcome to tonight's live. We're going to be editing some images from a recent shoot down in Cornwall with our amazing model Hannah, which you may have seen on various other videos and Evoto tutorials as well. And in tonight's video we're going to be looking at fixing these very dull looking photos, because on the photo shoot, a little story behind it is we did a photo shoot down in Cornwall on an event called Coastal Tides. And the weather was not how we predicted. It was hammering it down with rain, and fair play to Hannah. She was an absolute trooper during it, and we managed to get all these amazing coastal shots of her in these amazing dresses, which many of them you can get off Shein, which I didn't actually realise. And we were just doing various coastal shots along this coast in Cornwall. But what you can see in these images is they haven't come out how we would have liked them to. So what we're going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be going through these images, editing them, and then we're going to be replacing the sky backdrops to give our images a lot more of a wow. So if I show you what I have done in the past, so this is an Evoto backdrop that we managed to put in, and the original was more like this. So what we wanted to be doing is using Evoto tonight and changing backdrops out and trying to get our images to pop a lot more, and show you how you can actually do it. Because then if you do want to go and do fashion shoots or landscape shots and you don't get the right weather, this is how you can fix it. Now, we had a couple of advantages doing this. Was one, it was raining the whole morning. It dried up the last 2 hours, but what actually happened is Hannah got soaking wet anyway in the rain, which kind of added to this wet coastal look. So it kind of all played to our advantage. We didn't use any studio lights on this shoot because it was just hammering it down with rain. We didn't want to break any equipment, and we didn't use any reflectors because there was no sun shining at all until like the last hour or two, which is where these images came in. So when I first did these, I did do a little bit of work in Lightroom. But what I've actually now discovered is Evoto's done a bit of an update as well, and I'm going to go through that too, because there were some really interesting new features too, and new layouts as well. So I've picked a few out. If you do want to ask any questions during this session, please write a comment. I will keep an eye out. If you do see me looking to the right, which might be your left, it's because I'm looking at comments. I've got a dual screen going on to do this. If there is anything you would also like me to go over, please let me know. If you can hear me and everything, please let me know as well. And if you are watching, say hello, then I know who is watching. And then, yeah, we will make a start editing some of these images. And so I will clarify, we did have a really great shoot. Hannah was an absolute star, clambering all over rocks, standing in the sea, kneeling in the sea, and it was pretty cold. So, you know, absolute trooper for like 6 hours doing this shoot. But what we were struggling with was this really flat lighting. There was nothing we could really do without damaging more equipment. But we'd driven over 3.5 hours, so we really didn't want to cancel it either. So these are some of the results we actually got, and we're just going to go through them. So first of all, I've done a new layout where you now get a library and edit. So in the library, all your now projects go down this side. So however many projects you actually have, and then in the project that you are in, you will now see where the images are all found. So then you can then find them all in there, which is a really cool feature. And I've got to find out how to get out of this. Yeah, I understand. Cool, yeah. And then you can find out where all those photos have also come from. So who is actually watching? Hi Jennifer, hi Mark. Hope you are all well. And yeah, we will be looking at all these images tonight, but for some reason it's now got rid of 3 of them. So let's see if we can get back to having all 15. Yeah, so this is a little bit like Lightroom 2, where it will tell you where certain images have actually come from. So like different folders, especially if you do save your images like card 1, card 2, card 3 or anything like that. Obviously any past projects you can flick through. So I've already edited a few of these. So what I can easily do is I can go here, copy and paste whatever presets I want. Sorry, any settings, which again mostly in these ones would have been the skin breathe touching ones there. And then of course we did some backdrop replacement here, which I'm just going to show you. There we go, sky replacement. Yeah, so we're using this sky, but I'm going to go through it all with you. Hi Laura, hope you're also well. And I'm going to go through it all with you. There is a discount code in the description if you do want to give Evoto a go. The guys that have watched these videos before, I am going to get you a discount code for those free credits as promised. But Evoto are also sponsoring this video, so a massive thank you to them for sponsoring. So let's make a start. So I'm going to go back to my original library here. Okay. Now then, you can see from a few of these, the sun did brighten up, but this was where the sun should have been, is around here, and of course that's why Hannah's in shadow, and it was also very gloomy. So there is a lot of work we have got to do to these today. But what I also did do is I brought over one of my presets as well, which I'm just going to import. I just taken one of my presets out of Lightroom and I'm just going to import it. Already exists. Sorry, I've already done it. So I just got to try and find that. Yeah, Coastal Tides is already here. So what this was the preset that I made in Lightroom when I was doing some initial editing. And what you can do, people don't realize, is if you want to make a preset in Lightroom, you can convert it over into Evoto. So if you do buy any presets off like Etsy or anything like that, you can bring them over. So I managed to make this one up myself, and what the main adjustments was adjusting the shadows and highlights to kind of give our image a bit more of a balance, and then there was color grading as well. Sorry, yeah, here. So there's some different hue, saturation, and luminous changes as well. Because what we really wanted to do with this preset was really make Hannah's hair pop off. She's got this stunning red hair, and it kind of contrasts against this grey, dark blue. But we did lift the blue up a little bit. But what we are going to do is also edit one from scratch, just so then if you're not using Lightroom and using Evoto the whole time, you can easily do this at home. So I always start off with, if ever I do this, I start off treating this like a list. So I already know the shadows need to go up, highlights need to go down, the brightness can come up a little bit. What I am keeping an eye on is that we just don't blow out the whites here, and we shall just give this a bit of a boost of contrast as well. I will change the exposure. I'm quite happy with the white balance just for the moment, but I'm just going to just a few more tweaks here, especially keeping those whites in check. But if any of you got any questions whilst I'm doing this, please ask away. I'm just going to give it a little bit of clarity and vibrance. I may take a few of the greens out like I did in the past one. So let's just take a bit of this out. I'll just lower these a little bit. Yeah. Kind of give us that moody effect, and it's really lifting Hannah off, lifting her dress off as well. I don't really need to worry about any of these, but I will just give it a little bit more sharpness. I always zoom in when I do sharpness, just to make sure that we don't overdo it. It's very easy to overdo your sharpening, then it can look really blotchy. So hopefully that's a good mix. I might put a little bit of noise reduction in, because I think I was shooting at okay, just under 200 ISO. So camera settings for this were a little bit different to me normally. When I take landscape shots with people in them, I try and keep it 2.8 to make our model stand off a lot more. But I went to 6.3 because I actually want a bit more detail showing with these rocks, and making sure we get enough enough depth of field to get the scenery in. And we went to 1,000th of a second because I really wanted to freeze the action of these waves crashing in towards Hannah as well. So I'm quite happy with this basic look here. I could darken it up if I did want to make it more moody, but I'm okay with that. I may just recrop it just so then Hannah's in one of the rule of thirds here. May just move her over. Let's just see. Yeah, put her in there. And then she's kind of looking this way, so it kind of fills it in that negative space. But we are just going to do a few skin retouching. Now, I always use my skin retouching preset here. It doesn't have any of our palette sliders affected, so I can just apply that and let it do its thing, and that will fix Hannah straight away. Now, again, a lot of people get this mixed up about skin retouching is trying to make someone look really porcelain, but it's just getting rid of blemishes and things like that may just take you a little bit longer in Photoshop or Lightroom. But I've managed to make a preset that I'm really comfortable with, and having this preset, I've actually got a consistency with all my editing, my retouching, and I kind of got a bit of a style brewing now. Hi Lou, hope you're also well. And yeah, there's a bit more of a consistency now, so I've started to actually create more presets, and I've even got another one where actually someone does want to be looking more like more perfection. So there is another one, but this skin retouch 2 is my go-to one. I think I've shared it on previous videos as well. But the reason we mostly came here is because this was a really gloomy day, hammering it down with the rain, and the sky really needed a lot more. Hannah's quite flat in this as well, which I don't really mind. Like if I was photographing a wedding, this is perfect. You know, really soft light, no harsh shadow. So it was perfect in some ways, but not in another. It was perfect to get Hannah illuminated correctly, but to actually have this backdrop here, it kind of looks a little bit dull, so we'd want to be jazzing this up a little bit. And what was really cool is I've also got these ones already in sort of. What Evoto does, it's very clever. It works out where the horizon is and what is around, and then what it does, it then fills in that sky there. Now I would say that looks okay. We can try a few different ones. I don't think this one works too well because of the clouds are just like a finished solid line. So we're looking for something that is a bit more softer, like no hard edges to it. So this one's quite a nice one as well. Kind of blends it in with the blue sea as well. I haven't actually created my own backdrops yet, which I am going to do later in another video. I'm going to start taking sunset shots of just the sky and then dropping them in, and then having them as a backup. So if I do get another event like this, I can drop my own picture in to be the backdrop sky. But just for tonight, we're going to use so using things like this. I feel it's too much of a solid line. Now it's definitely made Hannah stand out, and you can see it's really cleverly cut in where her hair is and wrapped around as well, but we need the perfect one. Like not every backdrop, or sorry, sky is going to work with every single image, so we just got to pick the right one. Now that could work, apart from this is a little bit low, so let's just see. We can move it up. Yeah, maybe something more like that. That actually maybe, yeah, something like that. That does actually work. Do you also see as well? This is another really clever feature I did not notice when I first started doing this. Is let's say there's this yellow here going across. It actually reflects it in the sea, which I didn't notice until we edited these other images a while ago. So Laura's got a question. Can you export Evoto presets back into Lightroom? Can you? I thought you could, but I'm going to check that a second. Sorry, let me have a look. I know you definitely can't do ones, Laura, which will have the AI skin retouching, but if it is basic ones, do you know what? Let's make a preset of this and we'll give it a test. So create new group. We're just going to call this slider preset. When I can spell again. Do you know what? Whenever I do a live, I can never ever type correctly. Where's that one appeared? It should have been a yeah, perfect. All right then. Let's save this as a preset. Right, so what you don't want to be doing is I just need to. So you don't want AI color adjustments. It would have to be ones which are just attaining to things like this, and then you can save it as a new. And then let's see, successfully saved. Oh God, what did I call it? Ah, it's this one. Is it? Let's have a look. Okay, no, it's this. So I've called it to the same thing, so it's this one. Why don't let me click there? Share preset. I don't think. Yeah, it'll only give you a code. So sadly, Laura, you can't export these into Lightroom, but you can import Lightroom ones into Evoto. Yeah. If anyone wants that code for this, feel free to freeze your screen when you watch this back, and then you can add this in. But yeah, we will go back to editing these and just trying to pick a nice one. Yeah. So can you see that the sky, like when we apply some of these, you can sort of see little adjustments it also makes. So what we can also do is if we pick, let's say, a sunset one, can you see now it's starting to reflect the yellow in? Now this is really, really cool. This would blend in nicely. We can try some different ones, but then what you may end up doing is once you've actually done that, you may want to go back into your other sliders and then edit the image to benefit it further, especially with the white balance. So this is one way of getting around having poor weather on a location shoot, and then swapping out your skies with more appealing ones later on. I think that looks like a great shot. It might be worth just having a little flick for a few others of these. See what we can get with the D wrinkle. Yeah, so it just softens these down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so that all looks good. To be honest, I wouldn't even worried because of that circle there. We was gonna get wrinkles anyway, but that looks really nice. What I may just do, I'm just gonna copy these and then we'll just apply it to the next one. So this is another one. This was actually the thumbnail image we used, but obviously you would have seen it with another sky. So yeah, so that looks really nice there. And what I noticed massively in the detail in this is it really does cut round the hair here so that it blends in with the whole scene. Because what you do find when you start putting skies and backdrops in, it often forgets about the hair. But look, you can see it through all these gaps. So that's come out really well. Now I don't mind the messy hair. I think I mentioned earlier we were kind of going for a wet look anyway because weed was on the beach. And obviously Hannah got soaked regardless of whether she was in the sea or not. But why don't we try some other skies and see what else we can come up with? See if we can get a nice batch of different images coming. Yeah, that one looks really nice, quite soft. See, this blue one sort of makes Hannah lift off a little bit more, but it just sort of makes the rest of the image a little bit dull. But so we'll try and keep to some of these sunset ones. I don't really like that. It kind of looks too much. But what I do like is that light is now appearing here, which kind of makes it blend in really well. But if anyone's got any questions or any recommendation, let me know. Laura's just put, it doesn't look like Hannah stuck there either. No, that was a massive thing I noticed when we were doing the other ones, which I just showed you at the start. Honestly, everybody in my community thought it was a real image, and it is a real image. It is a real photo. But as we changed the sky, everyone went, "Oh my god! I couldn't believe you got such an amazing sunset," because the light fitted the scene so. Sorry, the sunset in behind Hannah fitted it so well because the light was appearing in the correct places, but as well. I mean, you could be looking at this and just thinking, "I've got a really, really soft reflector with someone stood here." And yeah, it works really well. I think this is the one we used on the other image, and I think this fits it really well. Just given this really dark tone against the rocks here, and then you're just getting these patches of colour here, just where this light's going. You're not getting as much of a rim light going around, but you can see like a faint line going up there. So for 30 seconds work, I mean, this is really good to actually use. And we've got 19 of these. Like, this looks no different to what the original was. So we'll probably avoid these really soft ones, but maybe have something a bit more dramatic. Now, I don't think this one works here. Sheer reason being, I think that there would be more light going around Hannah here, and it doesn't quite go with the whole sky. I do like it, like it's creating the shadows along the rocks here, but I just think here is not 100% worked. I think we want to keep with those warmer tones. Maybe not that one. Actually, let's try this one. Yeah, that looks really nice. Is that the one we used previously? No. Yeah. So this could look like we're just moving positions, and it's just like half an hour later or 10 minutes later, because sunsets do drop really quickly, and we're just adding some more sky, and you can see that the colour in these seas change to blend in with this, which is really clever. And yeah, I would be really happy with that shot. But what we might just do, till we try, I think it needs to be higher. I say more like that. Just then it looks like the sunset more behind Hannah, and these are just the clouds sort of coming over us. Yeah, so that actually works really well. So I've got to give Hannah credit for this, and I know she comes to she speaks in our videos a lot, but she was climbing all over these rocks like a monkey, like just climbing, never fussed, never worried about slipping, nothing, like absolute star doing these. And I think it would be interesting to try and sky on this, because there's a lot more to this now, and this is a more of a pure white. We'll just see what we can actually get, and we'll try and keep that sunset look. I haven't actually put any other presets on, so let me put that preset on from those ones. Wow, that looks really good, but that's a little bit bright, so let's close it down a little bit. See what happens as we turn it down. Yeah, again, it has worked. It's come out really well there. I may just try and give the skin just a bit more of a glow. Let's go down to skin retouching, which is there we go, and we'll just see if we can get. Let's try a gloss. Yeah, it's a bit more shine there. Let's just go in there. So can you see we just want to give a bit more of a shine there, just to kind of give this approach that the light's coming across here, hitting Hannah as well. What might be quite interesting to also see is if we can just boost up her skin tones a little bit. Let's just see about, yeah, perfect, yeah. Yeah, so just changing her skin tone just to balance with it a little bit more. I think that warm yellow works really well as well. Another tip, if you do any landscape work, is make sure your verticals are vertical. But if you are at a seaside, make sure, this is the only time you'd ever break it, is make sure that the horizon line is actually straight, because or else you'll be looking at an image slightly wonky doing that. But if anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask away, because it'd be interesting to actually hear what questions you actually have regarding this. And I'm just going to go through and pick out some more images to edit. So really easily, we got 3 really great results here, all taken, I would say, at different times of the evening. So let's try another one here. See, it hasn't detected any sky there. I'm just going to straighten it up as well. Just there, perfect. That's okay. I will apply our other settings, and then we'll just change this sky. But why don't we try some other skies? There are different ones. I don't think there's any point doing a starry night. Yeah, that would just wrong. But that would be really good for a really dark landscape shot. So maybe we can do that in another video. But we'll try and keep to fixing this problem we actually had. So let's just correct the exposure here. Yeah. So that looks more like a midday shot now. Nice blues. We could even drop the white balance a little bit. Okay, yeah, it's gone too much. Okay, so let's go back into skies and just see if we can boost it up a little bit. So let's just go a bit bluer. Let's bring up saturation. Yeah. The only thing is it's making Hannah look a little bit dark there, kind of miscoloured. But if that was a midday shot, I'd be really pleased with that. So these were taken about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. These were, and it rained from 10, so from 11 until 2:30. So and our shoot finished at 4. So we had like an hour and a half left, but we managed to capture all these images there. What I really liked about this dress is it really contrasted against our gloomy scene, which I thought lifted, kind of gave the shots a lot more atmosphere as well. So we'll try a few more daytime ones, and we'll just correct this as well. There we go. I think these will look better with the sunset one. So if you do go out and start knowing that you're going to have to replace backdrops and skies and things, try and also think where is the sun going to be setting, or where is the sun going to be in your image, so that you can put the right sky backdrop in, just so then it doesn't look like, if the sun's shining here but the light's coming from this side, it doesn't look too odd. Like, you want it matching the same side, so it looks like natural light is coming in towards our model here. And I will just go in a little bit tighter as well. Probably going to raise it up a bit, keep it there. Now, what would have been perfect if I'd actually thought about it is trying to get Hannah perfectly into here with the horizon line there, but I've kind of done the wrong composition in the camera, so I think this is the best I'm going to get. But sometimes rules have got to be broken, so I'm quite happy to have Hannah more in the middle of here. I'm just going to pull that out. Because we got a lot of things pointing this way, so like the waves going across here, that's going up there, and Hannah's in this gap here. What might be interesting is just to brighten this image up a little bit as well. Yeah, so it doesn't brighten up the sky, only brightens up what is still there. On these, the horizon is pretty flat. Does it work as well when there is a lot of horizon? So normally when you do landscape work, it doesn't matter what the horizon is. If you've got buildings in, you want to make sure that they're always vertical. But because we are at the sea and the sea line is always flat, if it is off center, you'll start looking at the image with like a bit of a sore neck, and people will notice that it is wonky. But if it's like a very hilly environment, it won't really matter unless there's a building in it. Then you want to keep it straight, because else it will look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But as we are at the coast and this is perfectly flat, you do want to make sure that it is perfectly flat. Because if we rotate this like so, So everything's off. Everything just looks wonky now. So you really do want to be making sure that when you are doing coastal scenes, like that coastal line is dead straight. Okay. So, but that's a brilliant question, Laura. And if anyone's got any other questions, feel free to ask away. Now, I'm quite pleased with this. It does look like a midday shot, probably maybe a couple of hours later, judging by the tone of this sky. But we can see, well, we can actually drop it. So let's just see. Yeah, so that's actually gone a bit better. But I still say Hannah needs to be brighter. So we'll just bump her up a little bit. Okay, but it's done the sea as well. So let's just bring it down a little bit. A little bit there. Again, I'm not going to worry about the close at all. I might just put a bit of saturation in. Just try and balance it a little bit. How many of you have actually used Evoto to actually do skies like this? Because that's now blending in a lot better now. But I personally think because of the nature of this shoot is so gloomy, it does look better with a sunset, especially with the AI tools lifting up colour in the sea. Now, I know it still isn't perfect. Like, this should be more orange, and maybe it might be worth Evoto looking into this to try and expand this tool further, that the foreground can then have a colour balance with this. Or, do you know what, let's just try it. Let's just try and get a bit more of an orange in, maybe. So I reckon that's too much. I don't know, let's just give it a try. I think it does need to go more to the tinted pinks here. Maybe a little bit too much there. This is way too much down to here. Doing that. Yeah, Laura, definitely give it a try. Because if ever you do get those miserable skies, you can easily change it. I think Hannah's out of focus on this one, so we might ignore this image, but we'll go to another one. Here we go. There we go. Right. Okay. Right. Let's give this one a go. But do you know what? Let's not use any of my presets already made. Let's try and do this absolutely from scratch. I love the. So Jennifer's just said I love the different sky options and can normally find one that works with some tweaking. Yeah. Yeah. Just slapping a sky on. Isn't going to fix it 100%. Like you've just seen me here trying to adjust the white balance to kind of blend it a little bit better, and I definitely say that the water would normally be a lot more orange, especially if the sky's like this, but maybe that is something Evoto can actually work on. I might even write it in their forum, just actually see if they are working on something like that. But yeah, we will start off with this one. So, I'm instantly going to have to boost up the shadows and drop the highlights just to try and get this a bit more balanced there. I'm going to put a bit more contrast in. I will do the brightness, but we're just going to have to be careful with that. May have to drop the highlights a bit more. Now, this still looks like quite a gloomy shot, but can you see that Hannah's really popping off because of the colours? So, let's just see where else we can go with this. We could just drop the whites just to see what it does give. Yeah, it just makes Hannah look a lot colder. We'll just give the white balance a bit of a push up as well. Yeah, perfect. I'm really liking that so far. It is a little bit wonky because I can just see a straight line going across here, so I'm just going to correct that a little bit. It might be worth. I don't think we need as much of the pebbles. I would rather get more of Hannah in. So maybe in that rule of third. So yes, if I ever do a model shoot, I always try and get them in either one or two of those spots in the rule of thirds, just to kind of help frame this shot. I think I shot this on a 24 to 200 mm f5.6. I think it was a new lens I was trying from a mate of mine called Dave. And this was on a Z6 II as well, which I was also trying out. So there we go so far. you know, just to be quick, I will just put that skin retouch on. Let's just check it. That is my right one. Yeah, perfect. Right, and then we'll just go back to here. Okay, I always end up changing more of the saturation than anything. So let me try and drop these. I'm probably going to boost up the orange just to make Hannah's hair stand off more. So Hannah actually did get sunburn. So actually, is there a sunburn tool in the skin section? Try and fix sunburn. There isn't, but let's just see if we can fix that a little bit. See if there is something. What we may end up doing is picking something like this to try and blend it a little bit. Okay, so we want a nice pale one just to make it a little bit more subtle. I'll say something like that. You can still see, but it's not as bad now. Now, but what I have actually done is made this guy a lot more moodier. You know, it's a lot more dull there. So yeah, so we'll just go down a little bit more. What I might just try and do, let's try and see what a vignette might look like with this. Could be more on the corners. We want to try and see it. Yeah, that looks nice. Yeah, and it's really lifted Hannah off. Hannah off there. So, sorry, yeah, we don't need any skin retouching. Actually, does full body reshaping have a brightness tool? Just see if we can pick Hannah out just to be a little bit brighter. Don't think so. No, I think that'd be a really cool feature. Is a bit like Lightroom if Evoto could actually have like a subject point, so it can pick out our subject. It may have it, and I've never even noticed it because normally I don't. But I'm just thinking that might actually work a little bit here. Now, one thing we're not going to go over is our obviously backdrop changer because it's just going to just put this texture across here. So we are sticking to skies tonight. I think we should go for another sunset one. Those are coming out really well. Now this was my favourite one. This is what we did the example of, and it just blended in really well. It was just the perfect one. We didn't need to do any tweaks, but because I think that looks worse. I think if you're going to do this, you do want the whole sky in. We could blur it a little bit to see what that actually does. No, way too much. It could work. This could work, but because I shot at f6, we are getting a lot of the detail within the rock. So what I try and do is I wouldn't using too much sky blur, but if I was doing a closer up portrait of Hannah here, I'd probably blur that out more. But this was my favourite one from this shoot. It just matched the colour of the foreground, complemented the dress a bit. I may just boost up the oranges and lighten them up just to make Hannah's hair pop off. Is that gonna? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so that's just doing a difference here. So if I just brighten it up, can you see it? Yeah, there we go. Might just get her lips brightened up a bit as well. Yeah, wicked. Yeah, that's done quite a bit there. You can see a line here, which would be interesting to see if we need to get that out at a later date. But that's where this gloomy sky has actually appeared, so that might be worth something that we need to look into removing as well with our sky. But yeah, that'll be an interesting thing to also do. Scenery match sky. Water reflector adjustment. Oh, did you see that? Right, so if we put this on 0, can you see it stays exactly how it is? But as soon as we start doing it, this starts to reflect more. I kept wondering, that was so clever, and they've actually got a whole tool for it. That is brilliant. Oh my god, imagine having to mirror that with that. So let's try it on here. Now that we got it, Let's try it on. Which one did we say we wanted to blend more with? Or is it this one? Let's try and get that on 100%. Oh, that's exactly what we was wanting. Exactly that. Michael, are you sure you know how to use the software? It's pretty confusing. Yes, I've been using Evoto for about a year, but they always bring out new features. So sometimes when I update this, there'll be new tools or things in. So when I did my first video on skies, these tools were not actually there, which is why I'm kind of saying if there was another update coming, it might be worth actually bringing these in, but they've already done it. So yeah, I've been using Evoto since last April, so that is, we're in June, yeah, so just over a year, so 14 months. I've really enjoyed it. It's really easy to actually use, but it's a bit like any software, Michael. If you start using any program at the very start, there's all these tools, there's all these different sliders and things going on, presets, everything else. It's going to be a lot to actually take in, but unless you've got a background in maybe another software such as Lightroom, which can be quite similar to this, it can be a little bit daunting using. But when they keep bringing out new features, so like we did a live about a month ago and they didn't have a dehaze tool, and then suddenly another update, there was a dehaze tool, and we was looking for it, and then suddenly the next update there was actually one. So Evoto are always updating this. So probably by the next time we do another live, there will be some more updates as well. But yeah, but if we go back to this, that looks really nice there. But now that we are looking, I wouldn't want to really blur the water too much, but we can. Can we do human matches sky? Okay, yeah, so it's actually tanned Hannah to blend in as well. Scenery color match. Yeah, so the rocks are matched. So, do you know what? Let's play around with this one a lot more now. And try and see if we can get that rock to blend in more, yeah. So what's interesting is the AI hasn't picked up Hannah here because she's in the rock. Yes, Jennifer, there is a way to create a vignette. So if we go into the color adjustments, if you go into lens correction manual, it's got lens vignetting. You can change it wherever you want, and then you can change the middle point to then create more of a vignette, as you can see here. So you just want to go into color adjustments, the very bottom, lens correction. If you go onto manual, it has lens vignetting, and then you can change the middle point. And again, that feature wasn't there on like another live we actually did, or another video I did a while ago. But that's what I really like about Evoto is I'm in their forum group, and you can hear people quite often asking, where is this, where is that, and then suddenly it's then there within the next month or two. But if anyone's got any other questions, it'd be interesting to actually answer them and hear your thoughts. So what's everyone's thoughts on this image now that we've corrected the sky? We've used these new tools that I've now found to actually make our sky blend in with our foreground more. What's everyone's thoughts on this? Because I think it's worked really well, because it's nice and yellow here, and then just around here it comes more red. So there's more reds here. It's now come round. There's a few sky bits here. So what happens if we move the sky down? Does it adjust? Yeah, can you see it adjusts it as well? So as you move this up and down, can you see, so if I go in close here, can you see it also moves with it, which is really amazing. That is a really clever touch. So I will be honest, when I do landscape with a fashion element too, obviously I try and pick the right weather and the right time, but because this Cornwall trip had to be based on when Hannah was on holiday, our availability, the weather was the only thing going against us. And I remember driving down with Dave going, oh God, what images are we going to get? Because it's just going to be raining. And then, of course, I played around with Evoto, changed some of the backdrops as mentioned in this one. And and then suddenly we were like, wow, we got some great shots out of this shoot, and we've also got the atmospheric skies we actually wanted as well, and it worked really well here. So I was just really impressed with it. So I messaged Evoto and said I'd love to do a video on this to actually help people, because I know how frustrating it is when you plan a shoot for months and months and months, and the one thing that goes against you is the weather. And I don't want to be sat in Photoshop for hours fixing skies, replacing them, and then trying to balance it out with our foreground when it can do it really easily here. And I think this has worked really well. But why don't we try, we're going to copy this one and just try and apply it to a whole different image. So let's try this one, just see how this comes out. So it's just going to take a second. There we go. Okay, so we might need to do some brightness adjustments here. So let's go back into here. So it just needs brightening up a little bit. There we go. And it would look like I've just put a reflector there. I will crop in a little bit as well. I'm going to break the rule. I want to keep Hannah in the middle, kind of like using this wave, kind of going along like that, and then Hannah's in the middle, so we'll keep that actually there. But that looks really nice. I do think the contrast may need to go down a little bit. Let's just drop the contrast. Yeah, there we go. Do you know what? Let's try lighter skin tone. But yeah, but has anyone got any questions at all? Because the other thing is, for the sunsets have been there, and we're in June, and this was taken last week, we'd be waiting till 9:30 for this as well, and the sun would have set here. So when we were doing this photo shoot, and I knew it was going to be miserable weather, I did have Evoto in mind to actually edit a few images in there and replacing backdrops. And one of the tips I did actually think moving forward is, whatever image I'm going to put a backdrop or a sky on and it's backlit, make sure that the model's also backlit, because even if the sky isn't as bright as you want, it may still give you some of that light going around here, just so then it does actually blend it in better and look a lot more natural there. Let's try just a few others. Let's try this one just for a second. I'm just going to copy and paste the same one, and we can see what it actually looks like. I don't think it's going to pick up Hannah very well there, but again, we just need to brighten this up a little bit. Yeah, that looks really nice now. Yeah, I'd be really pleased with that. I may just drop the white balance a bit. Yeah, I would say that's it. And again, we just needed to do a few minor tweaks just with the white backdrop. Sorry, the white balance, just so it wasn't as ambient on the rocks. But what I'm really impressed with is it's cut out so well and blended in so well. Like with other software, sometimes it can miss areas. You end up with these white patches, and this one's gone really well around the edge here, and I can't see anywhere where it's actually missed. It's just come out really well there. Maybe just crop in again. So we are going to do this workshop again next year, and hopefully we will also have a lot better weather to make this easier. But why don't we try a few others? So now that we got Hannah and a rock, but I am going to change the sky in this. Let's go for a different sky. Right then, okay, let's brighten. Why didn't it copy? Didn't it copy all the settings? So I'm just going to copy it here. Here we go. Right. Okay. Just need to. I will drop the contrast as well. Let's try and get a bit more of a balance. So has anyone ever actually done a photo shoot where the weather has been that awful that you kind of had to go away and just go, right, we're going to have to reshoot this, or that was really disappointing, you can't do it again, or anything like that? Because this is like the perfect backup plan. Just to actually get those images you want. And of course, what you can do, you can upload your own backdrops. So I am going to work on some sunsets around where I am in the Cotswolds and try and get some different sky so I can use myself. But in terms of a series of like images, I mean, we could easily say, like, you know, a lot of these were taken maybe within 5-10 minutes of each other. Now, I know you won't know the coastline, but for this image, the sun would have had to have been here. So if you do start doing this, just remember where the sun actually would have been for this. But I'm really pleased with this, and this feature has kind of saved my shoot, really. Even though I did get some really great results without as well. So if we just edit this one as if I'd edit normally, we're still getting some great shots. It's just we're not getting the atmosphere we actually want. And when you do get scenarios like that, and you do have these drop-in skies or sunsets, you can easily just switch them over. I don't know how well clients, if you were doing a client shoot, but certainly for things like group shoots and other events like this, I mean, this is fine. So this is, you could say it's more of a cold atmospheric look. We just boosted it up, the tones and everything there. Crop it however we actually want it. Or you can have something more like that. If I had to pick, I mean, it'd be amazing to capture that naturally. Just have a guy with a reflector somewhere here to bounce some light back, or a studio light to, lift it up a little bit more. I think Evoto do an email list with updates, and I think when you load in, it does say like update to the latest version, Laura. But often I just forget to actually do it, and then I'll do a live, and there'll be a new feature I wish they actually had, and then they've already got it. So now, before I do every single live, I make sure that I've got the latest version. So yeah, so I said 2 weeks ago there wasn't a dehaze tool, and now there is one. So that's how quickly they are always updating this software, which is amazing. It's amazing seeing something getting so many updates. I just kind of thought, just to finish this video up, why don't we see what the makeup tools can do with Hannah here? Kind of lifting up anything. May just want to lift her eyes up a little bit, because Hannah's got amazing eyes, so it'd be good to see them a little bit more. Where are the eyes there? Brightness. Eye makeup. Okay, so eyes. There we go. And if anyone's wondering why I'm sweating, this studio is roasting. I kept the fan off, which is to hide me. I didn't want it whirring in the background, but this studio is boiling. And luckily, Lou, who joined us earlier, managed to give me a drink here. So so I can actually do this workshop and stay hydrated here. But do you know what? We've got 5 minutes left. Has anyone got any questions about Evoto or about Sky reader placement, or maybe some questions about this shoot they would actually like me to answer? I will happily answer it. If not, at 8 o'clock we will leave it, and I'll post these images on the channel too, so then you can see them, and yeah, give us your thoughts on them too. But I am going to recreate the image we did earlier, so I think it was that one. Yeah. let's go for a bluer one. Yeah, something more like that. Kind of blends in a bit better. I'm just going to brighten this up a little bit as well. What I'm really amazed is like even the gaps between here, you're still getting the backdrop shining through. So what a common problem you will find these other editing software is these will remain white, and then somehow you gotta like patch it in using Photoshop, and Evoto have just done it immediately. It's worked out where the where the hair is and where the gaps are, and filled it in with the backdrop. Jennifer, I'm not an expert with editing, but I want to mask Hannah and increase the exposure to make a pop. Yes, they haven't got any masking tools yet. So if I was going to do that, I probably would have to drop this into Lightroom just to use those tools. But knowing my luck now, Jennifer, in 2 weeks' time, there will be some masking tools. But yes, so that has been a little bit of a struggle tonight. Because you can see me adjusting the brightness on like Hannah whenever the background and the foreground need a balance. But yes, masking tools would be amazing for this. If anyone knows if there are any, if you want to quickly drop me masks, full image, there are. Right here. They've been here this whole time. They do have masking, right? So right, I found it now. So do you know what? Let's pick an image and we will brighten. Hang on, I need to make that smaller. Oh my god! Right. Okay. Let's delete current mask. Right. Let's do a new one. Brush. Right. Let's make it smaller. Way smaller. Okay, and we'll just try and illuminate Hannah. What would be cool, just looking at the brush tools there, is if it still could pick up objects and people. At the moment, it's only picked up the whole image. So let's do this. We'll try and keep it as best we can. You only need to be subtle with this. And then let's boost Hannah up. Yeah, so we just got to put her up. We've only put her up by about half a stop. They will automatically pick the person. Okay. So if we do a new one then. Yeah, brush. Right, okay. Why isn't it letting me pick? I barely use masks on here, so this is a little bit embarrassing. Erase mask area. Right, okay, keep it in. Okay, so that one's done. Okay, right, so let's add. Okay, how does it pick up people? It's on that page. They will automatically pick the people. Okay, so at the moment, on masks, let's do full image. Okay, so if we're doing brush, okay, that isn't going to do it. It's under the white balance sliders, I think. Yep, got it. Right, okay, yep, okay, right, we'll give that a go as well. Do you know what? What is great about these videos is I also learn as well. So, person, tire body. Oh, it does have them. Oh, thank God. My God, how have I missed this? I probably missed it on the new layout and I didn't even realise. Do you know what? Should we actually do another video just looking at masks then? And then we can then go a lot more in depth, and I'll pick different images from a few other projects. So let's do all skin. Let's see how that comes out. Okay, it's a little bit too much. It doesn't need a lot. be interesting to know. No, okay. Okay, that isn't going to pick it up. But okay. Oh. Okay, let's try something else. Background, custom, people, background. So that can make our sky darker even. That's also got. Okay. Yeah, so it does darken it down. Yeah, so you could even blend them even more. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for actually showing me that, because I didn't actually realize. I thought that was going to have to be a new feature, but it's already here. Yeah, so that's amazing. So yeah, you probably see me editing some of these, trying to fix Hannah. So do you know what? Let's go back before we go, and let's pick out. And let's just see if we can lift her up a little bit more. All skin, just entire person, I think, because then we can get the dress popping up as well. Okay, that's too much. But that looks good. Right, let's fix this one, because this was one of my favourite images from the shoot. So let's do that. Right, okay, so we've got Hannah, whole person. Perfect, right. And we just want to go probably about half a stop, maybe a third of a stop. Now then, how does it keep with the sky as well? Okay, so let's just go a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, that's come out really well. Apart from she is too bright there, so we just need to dull it down. I say there. What's everyone's thoughts? Because this was my favourite image of the shoot. Was Hannah looking back across here. What's everyone's thoughts? And has everybody enjoyed tonight as well? I've just learnt about masks here, so I hope everyone's learnt something out of tonight as well. But yeah, but that is way better than the original. And what would be amazing is if you guys want to message me with your images. And see what tools you actually use to improve your images doing that. Jennifer, thank you. Yeah, and Jennifer, thank you for showing me these masking tools. I didn't actually realise they were actually there, because the last time all this was somewhere else. So I didn't actually realise we actually had them. So that's on me, but I'm glad that we've all managed to learn tonight. Ah, right. Let's try it now. Will it pick up? Okay, let's try it now. Okay, will it pick? It does. Right, this could have saved us a job earlier. Right, let's select that. Perfect. Perfect. Jennifer, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you've actually found this really, really helpful. And the more videos I do like this, I'm learning Evoto even more, and it's been great learning all together as well, because everyone knows different features. And this was literally just a video to show how we had this really challenging photo shoot, but using Evoto, we've been able to actually fix it. So guys, I hope you have all enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your Friday night. If you'd like us to do more videos like this, please leave comments below, because then Evoto will actually see them and we can do more for you. Thank you to Evoto for also sponsoring this video. Thank you to you all for your wonderful comments and questions. I'm going to post some of these up tomorrow, and I will see you all very, very soon. Thank you, guys.